Fáilte Road and welcome to part of the Hurling Garnick here for the opening round of the Senior Hurling Championship between Scariff and Clooney Quin. Wet and blistery August bank holiday weekend, and I'm joined here by Clare FM's commentator in chief. He's going to be on analysis here for the day for us, and still I suppose not the conditions you expect on an August bank holiday weekend, but I think both clubs will be delighted to get up and running.
Yeah, absolutely, not the conditions we were hoping for. Maybe we had much control over the rest of it, but yes, but look at it, it's not cold, it's mild, it's misty. It's a kind of a day now you would not lean into it on when you'd be actually wet, but as I said, the players will be well tuned into this. It isn't, you know what I mean, they're used to this, but more than anything, they're looking forward to it.
No, and I suppose when you look across both sides, and we'll go through the team shortly, obviously you have Scariff coming in. They've named in the full forward line, whether they start there or not, both Mark Rogers and Patrick Crotty, and I suppose you look at the other side and Ulick O'Sullivan and Evan Maxted, two young and upcoming lads in the full back line for Clooney, so it's going to be, I suppose, a small bit, even though they're all young, there's a bit of experience at inter-county level against maybe the not so experienced at club level. I
was talking to Mark McKinney earlier on when they came into the field, and I was talking to him about the full forward line and the advantage they would have if they were playing to our right hand side down towards the scoreboard. In, you know, we won't know that for a few minutes, but as you said, Ulick O'Sullivan coming in there and Evan Maxted, young lads, but look at what a place to learn. Two good lads as well now, but they'll be well tested today.
Yeah, and we'll just have a look at the lineouts as they are at the moment. So we'll start off with Scariff, and Scariff are wearing the saffron and blue of Clare for today due to the clash of colours, and in goals is William Kavanagh. Full back line of Padraig Brodie, wearing number 23 is Michael Scanlon, and in the other corner is Seamus McCall. Half back line of Martin Cunningham, Daniel Tracy and Diarmuid Nash. Midfield partnership of Thomas McNamara and Owen O'Grady. Half forward line Keelan Hartigan, Michael Barrett and Shane Kavanagh, and inside a full forward line of Patrick Ryan, Mark Rogers and Patrick Crotty. And I suppose looking at Scariff, and I suppose the year that they had last year, still obviously they came very close to making the knockout stages, and really they're going to be looking to try and progress this year and if possible try and pick up one of those quarter-final spots.
Yeah, the one thing I like about Scariff, Sean, more than anything else, they have huge experience in the likes of the Michael Scanlons, the Michael Tracy's, great experience. Then you look up front, as you're saying, I saw Keelan Hartigan playing in the under-19 league final this year. He was fantastic when he came onto the team that year. Patrick Ryan is the man up, but as you said, the other two lads we were talking about just a few moments ago, Mark, who we captain the side, Mark Rogers and Patrick Crotty. Looking forward to that variety. Keelan Hartigan, another player we saw last year and again this year, and the one man out there that can play without a hurley, and he's won a world title doing that with a ball only, of course, is the one and only Diarmuid Nash. Another fantastic player. I love to see him at wing back. One thing I like about him there, he played in midfield for a while, but when he's playing at wing back, his delivery of the ball to the full forward line, it didn't happen by accident, I can tell you that.
Oh, and I suppose just a quick look then through the Clooney Quin team. Starting in goals is the experienced Keith Hogan. Full back line, as we said, Evan Maxted, Shane McNamara, and wearing number 17 is Ulick O'Sullivan. A half back line of Mike McNamara, John Keneally and Conor Grogan. Midfield partners is the inter-county star Ryan Taylor and Donald O'Sullivan, and a half forward line Derek Hugh, Peter Duggan and Colin Hassett, and then an inside line of Ronan O'Donnell, Owen O'Ryan and Shane Harrison. And I suppose still it isn't that long since we were I suppose commentating on a minor final, and an awful lot of those names appeared, so I suppose it's a young Clooney Quin team. A lot of change maybe from the team that would have got to the county final a couple of years ago, but they're a team that have been building through the underage ranks, and it's about, I suppose, seeing whether they can find their feet now at senior.
I suppose Clooney Quin, more than anybody else, the amount of time and effort they have put into the development of young players, and again I go back to it, look down the centre, Shane McNamara, huge experience, Peter Duggan, no more to be said, Ryan Taylor, what a fantastic year he had. Now you have John Keneally lining out at centre half back, you know, a man that made his name on the under 20, plus all the young lads around the field as well, so looking forward to this one, no doubt about that.
No, and Jim Hickey is the man in the middle for this game, and Jim is just waiting as the Scariff goalie, which is William Kavanagh, makes his way up towards the school end as we look at it here to our left hand side here in the bridge, and the game is on and it's underway. Straight away the ball breaks here into the middle. It's in the hands now of Daniel Tracy. Daniel looks at, reverses that ball back, and a high lob and ball down here in the centre, going to break in favour of the midfield partnership there, but it's turned over straight away by Mike McNamara. Mike busting out towards midfield, head up, he's looking for the delivery, a hook, but it's only going to get as far as Colm Hassett. Colm gives the offload, in through the middle comes Donagh Sullivan. Donagh now heading towards the 21, offload again over as far as Ronan O'Donnell. Ronan gets the first shot of the afternoon, and a great score there. Still worked right here from the half back line on the turnover up to Ronan O'Donnell.
It was a fantastic ball, all set up from the half back line, came to the centre, distribution of the ball superb, great finish Ronan O'Donnell.
And there's a loose man back here though, however, and that loose man is Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan has time to settle and strike. That ball is drifting in all the time. Umpire goes for the white flag, and we're starting off with just over a minute in the clock, and both number 13s are on the board.
Well, we talked about the Scariff full forward line. One man is supposed to be put behind Patrick Ryan. Mark Rogers is the man that got him off the board, Patrick Ryan.
Yeah. And I suppose what is noticeable as well still is just from that puck out, Patrick Ryan was left in miles of space. He had no time, he was under no pressure when that ball came in, and a simple, I suppose, equalising score.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that, of course, is you had a full back line watching the other two lads, and Patrick was the man that maximised it and popped it over. Good score.
Ball breaks behind Peter Duggan, but Peter's adjudged to have been pulled as he was going up for that high ball, and that's going to give him his first opportunity in these conditions, striking into the breeze that's there at the moment and into the drizzle still. It's 60 yards. We would expect the distance, but it's a challenging start for him.
We were coming across the field, Peter was tapping those over, so we won't give him the commentator's course on this occasion, but if you wanted somebody to stand over a free like this, that's the man you'd pick right now, so we'll see how that one goes, Sean.
So just as we hit the 2 minutes here on the clock at the moment, a strike goes in from Peter. It seems like it is coming in. The umpire goes, he lifts the white flag, and Clooney Quin will be very happy there now still with their start. 2 minutes on the clock, they've 2 points scored.
They could, and looking back here, Ronan O'Donnell is on another attack down here to the left hand side, but it looked like Seamus McCall might take control of that one, Sean, and he does down here to this side.
Ball dropping down again on Patrick Ryan, just falls out of Patrick's hand, and instead it's going to be picked up inside there by Ulickson. He's drifted out all the time, ball turned over, Ryan gets his possession, carries it forward, he's looking there ahead as far as Keelan Hartigan. Keelan steadies himself, plays it back out as far as Ryan, gives the little jink, and here comes the crossfield ball, looking for the man inside. Up goes Rogers, but it goes off the fingertips, out it goes and wide, and Jim Hickey is not happy with something that happened here still.
Cover like that, okay, you're good. One more.
But I suppose looking at that there, still, it straight away gives an indication they're looking there for Mark Rogers.
Absolutely, there's no question. In fairness to Jim, I suppose he's laying down the marker from the early stage and trying to keep control of it.
Ball breaking here behind for Thomas McNamara. Thomas has possession, carries that ball in, looks to offload it as far as Nash Diarmid, trying to break out, keeps possession, gets his strike away. It's coming down the same side of the field as it does all the time, as the ball is going to break here now. It's in the possession of Dara Keogh. Dara looks like he's playing a sweeper role, gets it out as far as Taylor. Ryan up as far as his own 65, crossfield ball. There's time in possession here now. If it's Conor Grogan who carries it in, a great hook inside by Daniel Tracy, but it comes back as far as Grogan again, has possession, he's looking for the offload. Peter Duggan's looking for the outside, but instead the ball is transferred in, back it comes as far as Grogan again. The shot goes in from Conor, but it drifts to the right hand side and wide.
Great defensive work there from the Scariff man, Daniel Tracy. What a hook there on that occasion, coming out here to this side of the field, and the man decided right now, Michael Barrett.
But that crossfield ball is read all the way there by John Keneally at centre back, and John turns it out, but it's turned over. Down goes Patrick Ryan, just an accidental clash there as he was picking up the ball. It's going to be a free in, and we watch as Mark Rogers is the man who's going to make his way out here now still. He's just, I suppose, inside the 65, but straight in front of the goals.
63 or 4 metres out, yeah, dead straight. He has the breeze behind him, just to be careful. It's coming in from the stand side, going to the corner flag on the right hand side, but I'm sure Mark will. Obviously he's going to go for the left post here, and when everybody is ready for action outside in the middle of the field, it's strange to see Scariff in the county colours, but the referee Jim Hickey decided that beforehand, and as it turned out, in fairness to the interim county secretary, Deirdre arrived with a set of jerseys, and that took care of that. No confusion.
No, and I suppose we'll just look now as we have a couple of minutes. Mark is lining himself up inside a full forward. Patrick Crotty has made his way out over there into the far over wing, but what's interesting, I suppose, is most of the ball at the moment is actually Patrick Ryan that's going through.
This is what I was saying. Patrick Ryan, in fairness to Scariff, you could just imagine Mark McKenna and his management team. Everybody knew coming in here today, when you look at that full forward line, they're the two legends. But in fairness to Patrick, he's maximised that and made a great job of it so far, and a great target man as well.
So Patrick still down, just receiving treatment here at the moment. And he's playing about 45-50 metres out. It's the two men inside, and they'll be looking to try and get, I suppose, early delivery in to what is Shane Harrison and Owen O'Brien inside at the moment.
Yeah, maybe that's the type of play. Has gone out there as well. So look, you can see there's 3 or 4 and 7 or 8 players bundled together there. So obviously that's the style of play that they want. And Mac Rogers is on this one for looking down at the scoreboard 2-1. He'd be hoping to level the matters here with just a few minutes gone in this game.
That's it. The clock just ticks over the 6 minutes as Mark strikes that ball in. In it goes over the bar. He levels up the game once more. So it's 1 from play and 1 from frees apiece as that puck out comes from Keith Hogan, dropping it down here on his half forward line. It's going to break behind. It's a race for possession, which it looks like Martin Cunningham is going to win, but Martin gets turned over. Colm Hassett instead gets possession, tries to break the tackle. Colm still in possession. Inside, Jim Hickey says that the tackles were fair. Tried to get it as far as Peter Duggan, but Peter is turned over there, and Keelan Hartigan plays the ball up as far as Patrick Crotty, but Patrick drops it and in nips Ryan Taylor straight away. Ryan's distribution is blocked, and it's going to be a battle now for possession. Kick there ahead and Mike McNamara. Mike gets it, carries it inside the 65, looks for Hassett again. Colm plays it back out as far as Donagh O'Sullivan. Donagh gets the strike off, but it's not going to have the legs, doesn't have the accuracy either, and it's a second wide there now for Clooney.
Everything was perfect. The movement was perfect, the changing was perfect. Just for that, just playing into the breeze, Donagh just needed a bit more power into that one, and he just said it dropped in inside right beside William Kavanagh. But everything up to that, Sean, absolutely perfect. Yeah,
and an early puck out again from William Kavanagh over the wind onto the wing there, which was being attacked by Keelan Hartigan. Keelan adjudged to have been pulled back as he was going for the ball, and Mark Rogers on the halfway line now is going to line up his second opportunity of the day, so he's going to settle himself over this. A little bit more difficult. He's about halfway between the halfway line and the sideline at the moment, and Mark bends with the strike distance. The ball never even wavers one little bit, still straight over the black spot.
we've come to be used to that now with the likes of Mark Rogers. You know, he didn't force that one, just played it right into the breeze and just swung over the bar. Excellent free taking.
Up it goes down on top of Peter Duggan. Peter goes up with the hand, but the ball breaks down instead. But it's Clooney Quin who pick up that break, looking for runners all the time. Back it goes now. Back it goes as far as John Keneally. John has possession, works it over, but it's turned over by Rogers. Mark on the way forward. Hartigan is looking ahead of it. Oh, it goes as far as Keelan. Here comes the strike. In it goes, but that's going to be the first wide of the day for Scariff.
It would have been a superb score. All the action over there popped out of the hand of Peter Duggan. Mark seemed to pick it up just on time, just ahead of John Keneally. And Keelan had the opportunity, not on this occasion.
Ball breaking here in the centre. It's going to be Ryan Taylor is underneath it. Ryan being challenged all the time by Owen O'Grady. Owen had no hurley, but they still managed to turn it over. Played in towards the centre. It's going to give an opportunity here now. Here's the strike for Scariff. In it goes from Keelan Hartigan again. It's a second opportunity in a row, but this one just left as well.
He didn't actually know how much time he had, because when he was coming out, Clooney Quin were on the way back, so he had more time than he actually knew, just going to the left and wide.
So it's been worked out now this time by Clooney Quin. It's through the middle, through 5 different tackles at the moment by Donagh. Donagh gets his strike off, but that ball is travelling right all the time from Donoghue. Another wide on the board, and I suppose after all his good work of bringing it from the half back line, it was one that should have been maybe delivered in.
When he started that run, and by the time he finished it before he struck the ball, you'd be hoping to go over. Would have been the best score so far, and it'd take a while to beat it. He's back on the ball again, back in his own half back line.
He is. This time he decides to deliver it early. Down it goes. The ball's going to break behind. Back there looking at it was Padraig Brodie, but he's been helped all the time by Shane Kavanagh. Shane worked it out, but only as far as Peter Duggan. Peter gets the strike off. It's going to break around the 21. Up they go inside. It's going to break down, but there's 3 different Scariff men waiting for it. Martin Cunningham, the man in possession, and he's going to bring that ball over to the stand side of the field. Gives it up as far as Shane Kavanagh. Shane has a strike from that distance. It's going to go in, is it? Is it gone in? No, it's just stayed on the line there in the sill, but it was worrying moments for Keith.
Oh, very worrying moments. In fairness to him, he didn't panic. That was the main thing. And but he was very, very closer than he didn't panic, but I'm sure Tommy Corbett on the sideline had anxious moments.
Ulrich O'Sullivan named a corner back, playing a corner forward. He's on his way in. He gets a shot off. In it goes. A great save inside there by William Kavanagh. The ball breaks out. It's still there to be won, but it's going to be Scariff that bring it away with Thomas McNamara. But goal chances at both sides still. We're starting to see the pace hot up a bit.
Absolutely fantastic hurling on both ends of the field. And now the man himself is on it.
Yeah, hand over the shoulder there, says Jim Hickey, as Patrick was making his way. From a Clooney Quin point of view, very fortunate in one way that the ball didn't cross the line at this side, but unfortunate. A great shot here at the far side, but just equal to it was William Kavanagh.
Almost balanced out here. This is going to be a very interesting free from Mark Rogers right now, right under us here in the commentary box. No doubt, there's a no-brainer. He's going to go for the left post here. He's hopefully, for his mind, swinging it in, but very much to the left. This one will go, and we'll keep an eye on it. As we said, we'll probably know just before the umpires.
Oh, we watch now. Here goes the strike in from Mark once more. It's heading straight in the line of the black spot still. No doubt whatsoever for him, difficult as it may have been, but he's, I suppose, putting on an exhibition here early on.
There must be somebody listening to Sean. He's absolutely superb free, straight over, as you said, the black spot from a very difficult angle.
The ball breaks just behind Peter Duggan. He went as far as Ulrich O'Sullivan, but breaks even further now again. It looks to be Ryan Taylor is in possession. Ryan gets it across to O'Donnell. Shot from O'Donnell. It's stopped inside. Is it gone over the line? It is. It's a goal there from Shane Harrison, but it came all, I suppose, from that run. The ball broke as far as Ryan Taylor, and Ryan got him underway straight away.
Yeah, absolutely. What a save by William Kavanagh. Now he's injured inside now at the moment, just took a knock, but he did everything he possibly could as a goalkeeper, and then, as we said, just the ball came out. Shane Harrison just got it back over the line, but what a save, what a run by Ryan Taylor. The toss, or if they'd lost the toss, he'd be still in the Clare jersey, and that's the kind of form that we've seen him make that run. Ron O'Donnell that came back as well, and a great finish by Shane Harrison. The outstanding moment of that was a fantastic save from William Kavanagh, hopefully back on his feet very shortly.
And we've just gone over the 12 and a half minutes. It's now 1-2 for Clooney Quin. It's 4 points for Scariff, and I suppose considering
the reason they're doing that is that they're running with the ball all the way from their half back line. They're running right into the very strong breeze. The only thing they have to watch out for is, we did say they were playing about 4 players in the half forward line, just to be wary of the breaking ball coming back out. On that occasion, or just before that, there was 3 Scariff players waiting for the breaking ball. If you're going to have a 4-man half forward line, you should have better breaking ball than that.
It's Patrick Crotty that's under that one. Patrick gets it into his hand. The ball stays in play, however. Everybody's shouting for it, but it's going to break over as far as Keelan playing that ball in as far as Rogers. It's going to bounce in front of him. He gets the paw to it. Back on the hurley. Tries to make the space. The strike is off. In it goes. And sometimes when people play like that still, it's nearly unmarkable.
It's absolutely. I mean, he was coming in there. There was 2 players coming in behind him. Shortened the grip on the stick, and the flick of the wrist over the bar. And he was well marshalled by Shane McNamara, but just couldn't get near him.
Callum Hassett once more in possession, winning it early on the bounce, but he delivers it straight in on top of the free man that's back here. It's in Diarra Nash now. Back it goes again, and they're looking up. They're looking for that movement. It's Michael Scanlon who gives the delivery down on top of Rogers, but he just can't hold on to it on this occasion. Instead, Clooney Quin are going to build now from their own 65, looking for options. The hand pass goes, but it's been read all the way there, just by I suppose the Scariff defence, and it was Seamus McCall was the man who got pushed in the end there still, but I suppose a little bit hesitant from Clooney Quin, and that just give Seamus the opportunity to nip in.
In fairness to Seamus, he got a slight push in the back. He probably knew he had overran the ball on that occasion, went to the ground, won the free, again another opportunity for Mark Rogers here. But again, looking back here to the Clooney Quin side, they're doing great runs. I just wonder, Sean, down at the other end of the field, Scariff, I just wonder would the likes of Patrick Crotty be more of a threat down there for the ball that's coming in at the moment. I think he'd be a fantastic target man, but as we said, he's out on the wing at the moment.
And Mark now just standing on his own 65 at the moment as we look at it. He's preparing for his latest opportunity. It's going to drop short, I think, on this occasion. It's going to bounce it. The hand, we're looking for it there, but it just drifted, and I suppose drifted just that little bit too far inside, and the ball goes and registers a third wide for Scariff. It's been worked now over as far as Dara Keogh. Dara playing it, looking for his centre back, John Keneally. John now on the 65. He's heading in. Inside him was Donald Sullivan, but instead he decides to go himself, gives it as far as Hassett. Column, he's got plenty of possession so far today, and he's been rewarded there with his opening point.
That's a fantastic run by John Keneally. He knew where he was going, he knew exactly where it was off the shoulder, and as I said, Callum was out here waiting for that ball, neat finish.
It's back with Keogh in. Donna just delivers it, but it goes straight down on Martin Cunningham this time. Martin giving the ball back in. Now they're looking to play it early. Strike is on. In it goes from Owen O'Grady. We watch for the umpires. It looks like it's drifting. It is indeed off to the right hand side, and that's 4 wides now for Scariff. It's 3 for Clooney Quin. 1-3 to 5 points, and we have just under the 16 minutes played as the Scariff defence cater that ball again. Seamus McCall in possession. The ball breaks as far as Crotty. Patrick gets it back now as far as Daniel Tracy. Daniel playing that ball out. He's looking inside for Mark Rogers. Bounces in front of Mark. He shows it and goes. Here he goes. In he goes. It's still got it. Open gap has come. It's going to be Thomas McNamara who has it. I think we're looking at a penalty here still, but again, the movement of Rogers inside. First of all to win it, then to jink and make the room, and I suppose finally just to find the hands of Thomas McNamara, who came off his shoulder and was the man that was dragged to the ground now for this penalty.
He did. And I don't think that there's a yellow card being dished out now back
for Evan Maxted.
Evan Maxted back on the full back line at the moment, so this is going to be marked all day long. It's lining up to take this one. It'll be interesting down at the other end of the field. Keith is down there, Keith Hogan down there waiting for this one. It'll be interesting, but you'd have to say that this is a golden opportunity for Scariff at the moment. They're behind by a single point. We say no more, Sean. We often said it about simple frees and things like that. Nothing simple about this, but a top quality player on this penalty for Scariff.
No, and here goes Mark. He lines it up. The strike is good. It's low, but Keith Hogan, fantastic save down to his right hand side, bounced and all, but Keith managed to get the hurley to it and out for a 65.
How many times have we hear coaches talking about taking a ball? If you can bounce a ball in front of a player, it gives them a lot less opportunity to block it. We'll have to go to Keith Hogan in that case.
And Mark now is going to have his latest opportunity. He puts the ball down on the 65. It's just outside the goals as we look at it, and based on his shooting today, you will expect that Mark will cut the black spot again here with this, and we will be heading just into the 18.5 minute with a possible tie game here, Sil.
And here goes with Mark striking this one in, absolutely no problem, tapping it over the bar from the 65. I just had size level going into the closing 10 or 12 minutes plus additional time here. Finally balanced game.
High dropping ball down on top of Peter Duggan again. Peter, he's making plenty of movement for it at the moment, Sil, but it's just not coming off it, falling off the fingertips, and it's Martin Cunningham who busts forward, but waiting inside was Donna Keogh. Out it goes as far as Mike McNamara. Mike transferring the ball as far as Colm Hassett. Colm 60 yards out from goal, shows and goes. He bounces it on the ground, back into his hand, still going forward. He's hooked there by Shane Kavanagh. Pressure again, but he manages to get it back around. Out it goes as far as O'Sullivan, into County Star. Ryan Taylor. Ryan loses possession in the tackle, broken away by Daniel Tracy. Daniel, crossfield ball, over it goes. They have time to look up, reverse the ball, back over as far as Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid playing it inside. They're looking for Patrick Ryan this time on the run. Patrick gets the hurley to it, but it just breaks away. Patrick Crotty nip it in instead, and he gives it back as far as Ryan settles himself. The strike is in from Patrick Ryan, and it's over the bar.
He's catching the eye, there's no question about it. He's really catching the eye today, Patrick Ryan. He's like a player that's in the right place at the right time, and well able to finish as well.
But I suppose just looking at Martin Cunningham down here at the moment, it didn't see exactly. Opportunity there for Colm Hassel. He's been on plenty of balls so far, but I suppose just that little bit of inexperience got hooked in possession, and all of a sudden in the transition Scariff were able to get the ball clear, and no better man than Patrick Ryan in the form he's in at the moment to punish it.
It's amazing the way it goes, Sean, because I'm just looking at the format on both sides. I mean, Scariff, they have seen what's happening in the half forward line for Clooney Quin, and they're well able to contain that. That's the perfect example of it. Anytime it doesn't work, it means the Clooney Quin have broken that line and they've gone right through. The other side of that is the landing ball down at the other end of the field, where Shane McNamara found himself all in his own there just a few moments ago. So it is, but they're just waiting to get the pattern of the game into place. But for Clooney Quin, for Callum, he had a fantastic opportunity there. He'll get more before the afternoon is out.
So it's picking himself up off the ground at the moment is Martin Cunningham, and it looks like Jim Hickey is going to restart us again with a puck out. So here we go again. Keith Hogan with the ball. He's looking for Donoghue on his own 45. Donagh takes it in the hand, breaks out. Advantage being played all the time. The strike goes in. Jim Hickey watches. It doesn't go to a Clooney Quin hand, so we're going to come back there for the advantage that was being played for Donagh, and it's going to be a free out to Clooney on their own 45. And as we look, it's going to be the main man Peter Duggan heading back against the breeze to his own 45 for his first opportunity of the day.
Yeah, looking down here, everybody's pointing to him where it is. He's well inside. He's probably 45 metres out from his own goal at the moment, into the strong breeze. I'm just looking down at the other end of the field to see who's inside. Around the house, you see Utica Sullivan is inside there, around it as well. Also inside, looking down there, Ron O'Donnell is there, Shane Harrison. Let's see how this one goes. This will be a massive strike for Peter Duggan, as we said, 45 out from his own goal against this breeze.
So in it goes. It looks like it's dying on its way through. It's going to make it as far as the hands of William Kavanagh. William transfers the ball out as far as Martin Cunningham. Martin now looks up, plays the ball into the centre, off the hands there of Michael Barrett, but Michael regains possession, still carrying it. Peter gets the challenge in, but the ball still travelling in the direction of the Scariff forwards. Breaks out as far as Keelan Hartigan. Keelan is looking for the runners. The runners presenting itself in Owen O'Grady. Owen has the ball, the man who won the penalty earlier, but he's turned over by Ryan Taylor, and Ryan battling to try and win possession. In marks, it's Patrick Crotty there, trying to get it, kicks the ball up towards the inline, settles himself here now on the 13, looking to play the ball back out. He does so, looking for Patrick Ryan, but Kevin Corrie has the flag up there at the far side, and it's going to be a line ball out, a line ball for Clooney Quin, about 15 yards or so out from their own inline.
The strange thing about it is, from a Scariff point of view, they're lucky it's a line ball, because Ron O'Donnell was all on his own. He had won the ball back. Now there's going to be a change on the far side of the field as well, setting up a Clooney Quin attack. Great diagonal ball right across there, but they're so disciplined. The Clooney Quin defence, they're under a lot of pressure, but very, very disciplined at the back.
So we have a blood sub replacement here for Scariff. It's going to be Sean Minogue is making his way into the corner. It looks like it's Patrick Crotty is the man who picked up the injury on his hand, and he's gone off for a bit of cleaning. No doubt we'll see him in a couple of minutes yet still, but we'll resume with this line ball from Donoghue, who cuts it down out to the halfway line, but up goes the hands of Nash. What a catch it was, delivers it in, but the only one waiting there and had read it all the way from his own line ball was Donoghue, and Donagh plays the ball out as far as Mike McNamara. Mike now plays it down the wing. He's looking for the runs inside. It looks like it's Shane Harrison that's coming for it. Shane wins possession, transfers it as far as Colm Hassett. Colm takes that second touch, possibly the touch too many there still, and that just meant the opportunity was closed.
2 minds, that's all it was. First player in 2 minds, that's what happened there into Mac Rogers. See how this goes.
Well, that is the difference. There was no 2 minds there still. Straight into the hand, one step away from the fullback. The fullback, I suppose, being Shane McNamara, and off to the left and straight over the bar.
Shane is solid, but Mac Rogers is just definitely at another level, as we would expect.
Donagh O'Sullivan in possession, gets it back as far as Colm Hassett. Colm plays it back again as far as Mike McNamara. Mike takes on his man, gets the strike away. He's delivering it in top of Shea Harrison inside. It's going to break though. It's going to break for Seamus McCall. Seamus with possession. He's on the ground. Is he able to get it away? He is. He gets it back to his fullback there, which was Michael Scanlon. Michael over as far as Shane Kavanagh, and they play the ball out the wing the whole time. Back there now is Patrick Ryan. We're used to seeing him 15 yards from this goal. He's 15 from his own goal at the moment, but it's right there by Keneally. Out as far as Duggan. Peter gets the strike off. He doesn't. Is it coming in still? It is indeed.
What a score from Peter Duggan. What tremendous work from John Keneally. Came out, looked around, saw Peter on his own, delivered it fast, and Peter Duggan from right under the stand on the far side of the field into the breeze. Superb score so far.
Patrick Crotty is returning his place there on the team, so it was a brief stay there for Sean Minogue. Sean makes his way off the sideline, and once he's gone, I think Jim Hickey will get us back underway again. So but I suppose still, as we look at it here now at the moment, we're 25 minutes gone. It's 1-4 to 8 points. There's only a point in it, and as we say, Scariff are playing with whatever bit of elements there are at the moment.
Absolutely, a strong enough breeze here now here in O'Garney Park, but what they're doing, I suppose, I think what they're trying to do is open up the full back line of Clooney Quin, but quite a bit of ball, maybe a bit faster into the full forward line. With some of the players they have, could be a little bit more effective.
The ball breaks to the wrong man in Clooney's turns at the moment, and it's Patrick Ryan settles himself, but the strike is off. Two Clooney men up for the one ball. It broke in behind, and waiting there was Patrick Ryan, but Patrick just couldn't keep it on target, and that's a fifth wide of the day for the Scariff men. As the ball heads in, it's going to be cut out inside by the Scariff defence, carrying it all the way. Here is Shane Kavanagh. Shane brings it up. Kieran Ladan, the linesman here in front of us, puts his flag up. It's going to be a line ball, and a line ball for Clooney.
Absolutely, it's going to be Donagh O'Sullivan is lining up to take this one just outside his own 65-metre line here. Peter's the man that's going to come over. He's looking around here, he's looking there back. There's one or two players.
Donagh was making the run there to the far end of the field. Now Mike McNamara is doing it. Will he be picked up? He is indeed. It's Michael Barrett who spotted that run and cuts it off, and he's looking inside now at the moment. Here he goes in for Colm Hassett, but it goes beyond Colm Hassett instead, and it's one inside by Ulick O'Sullivan. Ulick back as far as Hassett. The strike is on if he wants to take it. He does indeed. In it goes, and it's a second of the day for Colm.
All started with Peter Duggan's line ball. It actually went through the legs of Callum right in inside and came back out to him, popped it over the bar, tricky enough from about 50 yards out. Well taken.
So heading towards the 27-minute, all square at the moment. Ryan Taylor back there picking up the ball. He's looking for support. It wasn't there, so he bounces and runs instead. He's on the drift forward, plays the ball over the head as far as Keneally. John Keneally carrying that ball in towards the 45. He's still going. Hurling being pulled, and I suppose that little bit of experience from the two boys. Ryan Taylor first of all breaking the tackle, and once he had it broke, he found John Keneally, who just charged up.
John Hurley was good, but he was very, very close, I would imagine, in the eyes of Jim Hickey, or maybe once again for Clooney Quin to go back into the lead here.
So it's straight in front of the goals, 45 metres out, and we're just going to wait. There's a Scariff defender down injured here at the moment, and that's going to delay us. So I suppose although we've watched nearly 28 minutes gone still, we've had a good number of stoppages, and we possibly will have 3 to 4 minutes. I'd say
the usual 3 to 4 minutes, and say will pop up here. But I think Clooney Quin will be happy enough for the way they are at the moment. As we said, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half, the pattern of the game. But for now, I think Clooney Quin will be the happier of the sides going onto the field in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Jim Hickey is coming out now at the moment. He went in to have a little chat there with his own son inside, who's doing it, James, and it's Mark McKenna is not happy with whatever went on, but it doesn't look like there's any action going to be taken here still. And I suppose if this one can be converted by Peter, it just shoves Clooney back into the lead again.
Yeah, they will be happy, there's no question about that. But I mean, as we said, they're running in there. There's one of the Scariff lads down, hopefully back on his feet very, very shortly. But so much to play for here. As I said, first round, it's always a huge, for any side, any team, they love to get a grip of it. 4 minutes of additional time, I think I've been told short down there, or somewhere, 4 minutes of additional time, yeah.
So the message coming up to us here from many angles at the moment, still, to make sure that we get it right.
We had all the force coming up to us, so we'll be here all night, but it's Peter Duggan has the chance here.
Oh, Peter settling himself now. He's had to wait for the past 2 minutes or so over that ball, but here it goes. Strike is in from Peter. The strike is good. You wouldn't expect anything else. It's a third point, second converted free, and it just nudges Clooney back in front now at the moment. 29 and a half minutes gone. The puck out is cut out inside there at the moment. Looking for it's going to be Shane Harrison, but Shane just can't control it. Loses the Hurley in the tackle, and Seamus McCall is in possession again. Seamus carrying it out. He gets a little flick on the head. It's going to be possibly a little chat there for Shane Harrison for that tackle, but I suppose accidental still, but nonetheless just a little bit high and dangerous.
Accidental, there's no question. I think Jim was just giving him a ticking on the book. He was trying to flick the ball away, and but Seamus McCall was moving at such speed, and just got a tap of the Hurley there on the side of the helmet. Mark Rogers is back right in front of us once again. Patrick Ryan is the man with the ball. He's moving away, and Mark wipes the hands, the ball. Let's see what happens from here again.
That's it.
Right here in front of us a few moments ago. We told him to go for the left post. He did. And he went straight over. But we see that he listened to us on this occasion, Sean.
He just got to be told to wait a minute, as Jim Hickey is not happy with the distance that the Clooney Quin defenders are away from him, so resets himself again, and we watch here now as Mark's strike goes in. It's never tailing once more, and I suppose even with the breeze, and the breeze is pulling right, I suppose he has it down to a T with regards to keeping that ball straight at the black spot.
It is his style as well. It's so direct in his strike, and it was dead on from the right when he left the stick.
Ryan Taylor trying to answer that score from his county teammate. He does indeed. It's a first for the day for Ryan, and it's 1-7 now for Clooney Quin. It's 8 points for Scariff, and we've 31 and a bit minutes just gone on the clock as the ball breaks in behind. It's going to be Mike McNamara in possession. Mike looking for the outload. He finds Owen O'Brien. Owen now gets possession into his hand, looking for runners, but instead he puts it back on the Hurley. Now he delivers it here into the far corner. It's going to be a race with Shane Harrison there and Seamus McCall. It's Harrison who gets there first. There's a little nudge on the back there as Shane Harrison was going down over it, and it's going to be another opportunity for Peter just to try and extend the lead before the half-time break.
Well, I was just thinking there, when Owen O'Brien struck that ball, he went into the corner. There were two Scariff men in there, so he must have had serious faith in Shane Harrison, and he was right, because Shane got over the ball there and he brought to the ground. And again, a very difficult free for Peter Duggan here, but again, as we keep saying, no better man to stand over this one. At the moment, it's
1-7 to 9 at the moment. Yeah, the scoreboard has just changed. We said it was 8, but we were ahead of the scoreboard, so it's I suppose a 1 point game at the moment, but Peter having words there with Kieran Liddell at the moment for whatever reason it is, settling himself on the 21. He's about 10 yards in from the sideline. I don't think he's happy with the distance possibly that the Scariff defence are away from the ball, but he's been told to get on with it. Yeah. It's gone in. We watch. Yeah. They're not. No, it's gone to the left hand side this time. It's gone wide, and we're back underway with William Kavanagh's puck out straight away, dropping down there on the far 45. It's going to break behind towards Conor Grogan. Conor now recycling that ball. He's looking for O'Donnell. Ronan O'Donnell has possession up on his own 65. He's just turned over by Patrick Ryan. Patrick works it in as far as Keelan Cartigan. Keelan with his latest opportunity of the day, and it's just a little rash again. That's a third chance, I think, from by my count for Keelan still, and he just hasn't managed to judge that breeze.
Just slightly off the radar at the moment. Getting on good ball, that could all change. I've never know small things can change something like that.
Martin Cunningham turned over in possession by Owen O'Brien. Owen looks for the runner. The runner is Shane Harrison. Can he keep it in? He whips on it to try and keep it in, but it's going to travel all the way out over that in line, and William Kavanagh gets us back underway. He's looking for the short one. Waiting here in the middle was his own number 11, which was Michael Barrett, but it's the Clooney Quin one. Peter Duggan with possession tries to brush off the tackle there of Daniel Tracy, still with possession. The strike comes in. It's going to drop and wait inside. Out comes the goalie, William Kavanagh. He calls it. and he delivers that ball down our own stand, down on top of Patrick Crotty. Patrick gets the hand up, but he's beaten to it by Conor Grogan. Conor still in possession, puts it back on the Hurley, dispossessed on this occasion, but it's going to break down. Owen O'Brien kicks it forward, reverse back as far as Owen O'Brien, and it's going to be a free in for Clooney Quin, something that delights their management team here, that's just I suppose near the sideline as we watch it still.
That was fantastic for Conor Grogan. Never took his eye off the ball, stayed with it, didn't jump in, just controlled himself, got great back up there from Owen O'Brien as well, and a well walk free for Clooney Quin. No question about that, as the rain begins to come down a little bit heavier, Sean, but for Peter Duggan everything will be nice and tidy. He's having a word with Kieran Ledane on the sideline, and Kieran giving him last words of advice on the 65 metre line, 2 metres in from the sideline. It'll be very close to the half-time whistle by the time he strikes this one.
Yeah, we've gone over the 34 and a half minutes, so you would expect that regardless of the outcome of this free, that Clooney Quin are heading in to the half-time break with a lead. Whether it's 1 or 2 points, we're going to find out. It's going to be 2, I think, Sil.
Absolutely. 65 metres out, 2 in against the breeze, into a swirling breeze with the rain coming down. Peter Duggan straight over the bar. Absolutely top class.
And that sends them into the dressing room, as we say, with a 2-point lead. It's 1-8 for Clooney Quin. It's 9 points at the moment for Scariff, and I suppose early on it looked like Scariff, through Patrick Ryan and Mark Rogers, they were making a lot of headway, but in that second quarter, if you like, the scores kind of drew up, and they were really dependent on maybe Mark's one from play plus the couple of frees they got.
Yeah, what caught my eye the most is the Clooney Quin running with the ball up the field. Now, instead of hitting it, they were carrying it for 2 reasons. One, they were playing into a very stiff breeze, and number 2, when they drove, if they did hit the ball up the field, if Scariff won it, it was gone way back down to the other end of the field with the breeze behind them. So a very, very smart move by Clooney Quin. As we said, they're leading here at half time, playing against the breeze. They have a nice bit of work to do, but they're going in the right direction, and I think maybe you're going to see a bit more activity around the Scariff half forward line, where you'll need a bit more activity from Patrick Crotty and Mark Rogers to pull something out of the fire here for the Scariff men in the second half.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the thing, is that we look at the way Scariff set up, possibly playing into the breeze in the next half. It will have to be similar to what Clooney done, really. It's going to have to be a running game, because I suppose outside of the likes of maybe your Peter Duggan or your Mark Rogers, who maybe into that breeze will carry the distance, but anything less than that power from 65 or even midfield, and that ball dies on its way in.
Yeah, but playing against the breeze, we've seen what Clooney Quin did. We now know the Scariff have to do that. But the other thing is, what are Clooney Quin going to do with the breeze? Are they going to do the same thing, or will they go a bit more direct into their full forward line? That's the one thing that will probably decide this game.
And with that, we're just going to take a little break here for a while. You can enjoy, I suppose, the replays of the scores and activity, and a few great saves that happened during that first half. But you can join us again in a couple of minutes when both teams are back in the field. And as we say, it's Clooney Quin in the dressing room. It's 1-8 to 9 points, but there's a big half an hour ahead to go yet. Again, over as far as Ronan O'Donnell. Ronan gets the first shot of the afternoon. There's a loose man back here though, however, and that loose man is Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan has time to settle and strike. That ball is drifting in all the time. Umpire goes for the white.
So we'll see how that one goes, Sean.
So just as we hit the 2 minutes here on the clock at the moment, a strike goes in from Peter. It seems like it is coming in. The umpire goes.
Looking down at the scoreboard 2-1, he'd be hoping to level the matters here with just a few minutes gone in this game.
That's it. The clock just ticks over the 6 minutes as Mark strikes that ball in it. The halfway line and the sideline at the moment, and Mark bends with the strike, distance, the ball never even wavers one little bit still, straight over the black spot. Kavanagh, Shane has a strike from that distance. It's going to go in, is it? Is it gone in? No, it's just stayed on the line there in a still, but it was worrying moments.
He didn't panic, but I'm sure Tommy Corbett on the sideline had anxious moments.
Ulrich O'Sullivan named a corner back, playing a corner forward, he's on his way in, he gets a shot off, in it.
Probably no, just before the umpires.
Oh, we watch now. Here goes the strike in from Mark once more. It's heading straight in the line of the black skin. It looks to be Ryan Taylor is in possession. Ryan gets it across to O'Donnell. Shot from O'Donnell. It's stopped inside. Is it gone over the line? It is. It's a goal there from Shane. A break over as far as Keelan playing that ball in as far as Rogers. It's going to bounce in front of him. He gets the paw to it. Back on the Hurley. Tries to make the space. The strike is off in it. He's heading in. Inside him was Donald Sullivan, but instead he decides to go himself. Gives it as far as Hassett. Column. He's got plenty of possession so far today, and he's been rewarded there. Bounces in front of Mark. He shows it and goes. Here he goes, and he goes. It's still got it. Open gap has come. It's going to be Thomas McNamara who has it. I think we're looking at a penalty here.
Like that, nothing simple about this, but a top quality player on this penalty for Scariff.
No, and here goes Mark. He lines it up. The strike is good. It's low, but Keith Hogan, fantastic save. We will be heading just into the 18.5 minute with a possible tie game here, Sil.
And here goes with Mark striking this one in, absolutely no problem, tapping it over the bar from the
Patrick gets the Hurley to it, but it just breaks away. Patrick Crotty nip it in instead, and he gives it back as far as Ryan settles himself. The strike is in from Patrick Ryan.
For Peter Duggan, as we said, 45 out from his own goal against the Springs.
So in it goes. It looks like it's dying on its way through. It's going to make it as far as the hands of William Kavanagh. Just mean the opportunity was closed.
2 minds, that's all it was. First player in 2 minds, that's what happened there into Mark Rogers. See how this goes.
Well, that is the difference. There was no 2 minds. Own goal at the moment, but it's read there by Keneally. Out as far as Duggan. Peter gets the strike off. It doesn't. Is it coming in, Sil? It is indeed. Colm Hassett, but it goes beyond Colm Hassett instead, and it's one inside by Ulick O'Sullivan. Ulick back as far as Hassett. The strike is on if he wants to take it. He does indeed. In it goes, and it's a second. Oh, Peter settling himself now. He's had to wait for the past 2 minutes or so over that ball, but here it goes. Strike is in from Peter. The strike is sets himself again, and we watch here now as Mark's strike goes in. It's never tailing once more, and I suppose even with the breeze,
His style as well is so direct in his striking. It was dead on from the right when he left the stick.
Ryan Taylor trying to answer that score from his county teammate. He doesn't. Regardless of the outcome of this free, that Clooney Quin are heading in to the half-time break with a lead. Whether it's 1 or 2 points, we're going to find out. It's going to be 2, I think. There's Colm Hassett. Colm gives the offload in through the middle. Comes Donald Sullivan. Donald now heading towards the 21. Offload again over as far as Ronan O'Donnell. Ronan gets the first shot of the afternoon. There's a loose man back here though, however, and that loose man is Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan has time to settle and strike. That ball is drifting in all the time. Umpire goes for the one.
So we'll see how that one goes, Sean.
So just as we hit the 2 minutes here on the clock at the moment, a strike goes in from Peter. It seems like it is coming in. The umpire goes.
Looking down at the scoreboard 2-1, he'd be hoping to level the matters here with just a few minutes gone in this game.
That's it. The clock just ticks over the 6 minutes as Mark strikes that ball in it. The halfway line and the sideline at the moment, and Mark bends with the strike distance. The ball never even wavers one little bit, still straight over the black spot. Kavanagh, Shane has a strike from that distance. It's going to go in, is it? Is it gone in? No, it's just stayed on the line there in a sill, but it was worrying moments.
He didn't panic, but I'm sure Tommy Corbett on the sideline had anxious moments.
Ulick O'Sullivan named a corner back, playing a corner forward. He's on his way in. He gets a shot off. In it.
Probably no, just before the umpires.
Oh, we watch now. Here goes the strike in from Mark once more. It's heading straight in the line of the black skin. It looks to be Ryan Taylor is in possession. Ryan gets it across to O'Donnell. Shot from O'Donnell. It's stopped inside. Is it gone over the line? It is. It's a goal there from Shane. A break over as far as Keelan playing that ball in as far as Rogers. It's going to bounce in front of him. He gets the paw to it. Back on the Hurley. Tries to make the space. The strike is off. In it goes. He's heading in. Inside him was Donald Sullivan, but instead he decides to go himself. Gives it as far as Hassett. Colm. He's got plenty of possession so far today, and he's been rewarded there. Bounces in front of Mark. He shows it and goes. Here he goes, and he goes. It's still got it. Open gap has come. It's going to be Thomas McNamara who has it. I think we're looking at a penalty here.
Like that, nothing simple about this, but a top quality player on this penalty for Scariff.
No, and here goes Mark, he lines it up. The strike is good, it's low, but Keith Hogan, fantastic save. We will be heading just into the 18.5 minute with a possible tie game here, Sil.
And here goes with Mark, striking this one in, absolutely no problem, tapping it over the bar from the sea.
Patrick gets the hurley to it, but it just breaks away. Patrick Crotty nip it in instead, and he gives it back as far as Ryan settles himself. The strike is in from Patrick Ryan.
For Peter Duggan, as we said, 45 out from his own goal against the Springs.
So in it goes, it looks like it's dying on its way through. It's going to make it as far as the hands of William Kavanagh. Just mean the opportunity was closed.
2 minds, that's all it was. First player in 2 minds, that's what happened there into Mark Rogers. See how this goes.
Well, that is the difference. There was no 2 minds. Own goal at the moment, but it's right there by Keneally. Out as far as Duggan. Peter gets the strike off. It doesn't. Is it coming in, Sil? It is indeed. Colm Hassett, but it goes beyond Colm Hassett instead, and it's one inside by Ulick O'Sullivan. Ulick back as far as Hassett. The strike is on if he wants to take it. He does indeed. In it goes, and it's a second. Oh, Peter settling himself now. He's had to wait for the past 2 minutes or so over that ball, but here it goes. Strike is in from Peter. The strike is sets himself again, and we watch here now as Mark's strike goes in. It's never tailing once more, and I suppose even with the breeze,
his style as well is so direct in his strike, and it was dead on from the Ryan when he left the stick.
Ryan Taylor trying to answer that score from his county teammate. He doesn't. Regardless of the outcome of this free, that Clooney Quin are heading in to the half-time break with a lead. Whether it's 1 or 2 points, we're going to find out. It's going to be 2, I think. It's Colm Hassett. Colm gives the offload in through the middle. Comes Donald O'Sullivan. Donald now heading towards the 21. Offload again over as far as Ronan O'Donnell. Ronan gets the first shot of the afternoon. And there's a loose man back here though, however, and that loose man is Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan has time to settle and strike. That ball is drifting in all the time. Umpire goes for the one.
So we'll see how that one goes, Sean.
So just as we hit the 2 minutes here on the clock at the moment, a strike goes in from Peter. It seems like it is coming in. The umpire goes.
Looking down at the scoreboard 2-1, he'd be hoping to level the matters here with just a few minutes gone in this game.
That's it. The clock just ticks over the 6 minutes as Mark strikes that ball in it. The halfway line and the sideline at the moment, and Mark bends with the strike distance. The ball never even wavers one little bit, still straight over the black spot. Kavanagh, Shane has a strike from that distance. It's going to go in, is it? Is it gone in? No, it's just stayed on the line there in a still, but it was worrying moments.
He didn't penny, but I'm sure Tommy Corbett on the sideline had anxious moments.
Ulick O'Sullivan named a corner back, playing a corner forward. He's on his way in. He gets a shot off. In it.
Probably no, just before the umpires.
Oh, we watch now. Here goes the strike in from Mark once more. It's heading straight in the line of the black skin. It looks to be Ryan Taylor is in possession. Ryan gets it across to O'Donnell. Shot from O'Donnell. It's stopped inside. Is it gone over the line? It is. It's a goal there from Shane. A break over as far as Keelan playing that ball in as far as Rogers. He's going to bounce in front of him. He gets the paw to it. Back on the hurley. Tries to make the space. The strike is off. In it goes. He's heading in. Inside him was Donald Sullivan, but instead he decides to go himself. Gives it as far as Hassett. Colm, he's got plenty of possession so far today, and he's been rewarded there. Bounces in front of Mark. He shows it and goes. Here he goes, in he goes. It's still got it. Open gap has come. It's going to be Thomas McNamara who has it. I think we're looking at a penalty here.
Like that, nothing simple about this, but a top quality player on this penalty for Scariff.
So, and here goes Mark. He lines it up. The strike is good. It's low, but Keith Hogan, fantastic save. Welcome back here now to the second half here in O'Garney Park, and still we see straight away Clooney Quin, big call, Peter Duggan lining up here for the throw in out around the middle of the field, so they're obviously going to try and get him on a bit more ball in the second half.
Absolutely, with the breeze behind him, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Dan Tracy, in fairness to him, had done a fantastic job. He's keeping an eye on him now as well, but we'll keep an eye and see what happens.
Then it goes, Patrick Crotty down over that ball, gets it up into his hand, he's breaking forward on his own 65, shortens the grip, puts it in front of Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett skips in past John Keneally. He has possession, but he's turned over by Donahue down on top of Peter Duggan, comes out of Peter's hand again. It's going to bounce onto the own 65. It's Owen O'Brien in possession. He makes his way forward. Owen gets a crossfield ball in ahead. He's looking inside. It looks to be Shane Harrison inside that was shown for it. Push on the back of Shane, and it's going to be a free in here now straight away. Or it's actually Ryan Taylor that was inside still.
Yeah, I'm just looking there at Owen O'Brien, the way he came into that ball. I mean, he has a number 14 jersey on his back. The only other player I've seen with that particular style was Fergal Lynch. Looking exactly the way he came onto that ball, and but Ryan Taylor knows the way. He's the target man now inside on this occasion, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, so good few positional changes. Whether it remain that way for the next 29 or so minutes, we'll wait and see. But it's Peter that's going to come in. He's going to take the free from the 21, and then he's going to have to make his way back out around the middle of the field again. Ryan Taylor, they're obviously hoping maybe still if they can get that ball in early in front of Taylor with his speed and accuracy, that a goal chance could present itself for him.
But look at, most people have seen Ryan in action out around the middle of the field. We've seen him in action down through the years in the full forward line as well. Every now and then he'd pop up in a full forward line, and it's quite obvious at the moment. You would have to think that they're going to make Ryan the target man, while Peter will be probably the man doing deliveries from the middle of the field, along, as I said, with a number of other players. We'll see how we get on. We'll see where this pattern will be over the next couple of minutes, but all eyes on Peter at the moment on the 20-metre line.
That's it, and he's just been asked by referee Jim Hickey just to move that ball over slightly. He's not happy with the positioning of it, and Peter now will get the opportunity to extend that lead. He got the last one on the stroke of half time. He gets the first one here with 2 minutes gone. It's a 4th free of the day, and it just extends that lead out to the goal now. Still,
they'll be happy. There will be, there's no question about it. There will be, as we said, Clooney Quin, they'll just try and contain the Scariff win, but you can see him attacking the ball. Now Scariff are trying to come out of defence like Clooney Quin did in the first half, but Clooney Quin have other ideas than that.
The ball still in possession of Scariff, however, as they come up towards the halfway. Patrick Crotty peels off over towards our side of the field as we look at it. Has the ball in his hand. He's looking to get the strike off. Gives the hand pass instead. In it goes, but it's a 2-on-1 tackle inside, but they still manage to recycle it. Over it comes as far as Daniel Tracy. Daniel gives the pass inside, but it's going to be picked up by Donagh O'Sullivan. Donagh out as far as his cornerback, Evan Maxted. Evan out as Colm Hassett. Colm on the halfway line. Looks up, he plays it in high, but it's going to be 2-on-1 inside. It's broken down as far as it was Shane Harrison inside. He was trying to break it as far as Ryan Taylor, but instead Scariff just a chop down on the hurley there, I think, by Michael Scanlon, as it was Shane Harrison was trying to break it through.
I'm not sure, Sean, to be quite honest with you. I just get into my head nowadays that the very minute that I hear a clash of a hurley, it seems to be a free all day long. That's what I've been talking about there for the last 2 years. I think that's what happened there. I mean, they were both going for the ball, the clash of hurley. Next thing, Peter Duggan is going to send this one halfway back to Quin, I'd say, at this point in time. That's exactly what he does. And another good score for Clooney Quin.
That's it. It's a 5th free of the day for Peter. There's 4 in it now. It's going to be another short one there from William Kavanagh. Over it goes. Played out as far as Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid just can't control it, but he gets it at the second time of asking. Gives the hand pass. It in nips Peter Duggan. Peter's challenge adjudged to have just been a little bit rash. Jim Hickey says he got the side of the helmet there of Diarmuid, and it's going to be a free out, and I suppose Scariff will be relieved with that, because in the initial 4 minutes that we've had here so far, still they're struggling to get their attack on.
They are, because they're running right into the attack defence. That's what's at the other end of it. We see how this one goes from Shane Kavanagh.
Dropping on the 21-metre line, up they go. It's Donahue waiting behind, as he's done all day, patiently waiting for the ball to break. Gets it out, when it only comes as far as Martin Cunningham. He reverses it back over to Owen O'Grady. Owen's attempt to strike is blocked down. There's going to be a battle for it here, but it's going to be the midfielder, which is Donagh O'Sullivan. Donagh gets it, and Donagh's opportunity is blocked down, and out it goes, and it's going to be a line ball, but it's going to be a line ball for Clooney, and Donahue is going to have an opportunity here just to relieve the pressure.
Okay, what's going to happen now is the Scariff will probably continue this for the next couple of minutes, trying to run at that crowded Clooney Quin defence. If they don't change after that, if they don't get the ball into Mark Rogers, are going to find it very difficult to win this one. If they'll stick with it for a while, but then I think they'll have to change it, Sean, because it's not working for them.
So we have a tussle here in the middle of the field. There's 4 or 5 from both sides in, but it's going to be in the hands of Thomas McNamara. Thomas has possession, but he can't get it away because of the 3 Clooney men that were in front of him, and instead the ball falls back into the ground. Jim Hickey is watching to see is it going to come out. A number of players fall to the ground, and for safety reasons I think Jim is just going to throw us in and try and get it back underway.
It was coming, we could see what was going to happen. Ball was going absolutely nowhere, players were falling down on it. That's on the 65-metre line, and Peter Duggan is inside the thick of this.
So there's the throw in as we predicted. It goes back, it goes. It's going to be the Clooney Quin defence through Mike McNamara, but Mike's attempted clearance gets blocked down, and it's going to be just whipped on. He's Ronan O'Donnell tried to add on to it, but it's Ulick O'Sullivan then trying to gather possession. It's going to be O'Donnell who gets it into his hand. Here it goes, in it goes. Taylor makes the run, but it's right there by Shane Kavanagh. Just got there ahead of him, gets turned over. Opportunity is there. Is he going to use the pace? No, he's going to settle for the score inside. It's Shane Harrison who adds to the goal from the first half, and that's 1-1 on the board for him now. So
he was tempted to try to sidestep, but I was looking back down the field there a few moments ago, and he was again, Scariff had an extra man back.
So it's in possession now of Keelan Hartigan. Keelan comes inside his man Mike McNamara, steadies himself, bounces it back into his own hand, recycles it all the way back here as far as Daniel Tracy. Daniel can't control it. Instead it's Peter Duggan that's in there. Peter lifts the ball. He was getting ready for the big one there still. He was, I think, seeing the white flag being raised, but he in-nipped Scariff defence, and the strike was just a little bit too long, and the hook was in.
I think Daniel Tracy is having a fantastic game out there. Very disciplined. He's in the right.
It looks too like Sean Minogue is going to be reintroduced. He obviously got a couple of minutes in the first half as a blood sub, but we'll see him on for the remainder of the game now, possibly just after this play. So Peter has the ball on the ground, the line ball is coming, and he lines it up. Here we go, in towards the 21, but it's not going to break beyond Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid has time to steady himself. Short grip, gives it in as far as Keelan Hartigan. Keelan taking his man on a pace, hand is up for advantage, and Keelan decides there's nothing else on here, Jim, just give me the free.
Absolutely brilliant from Diarmuid Nash. Had the composure, had the vision. Keelan was the man that made the run across the field. Tony Quinn probably said, look, we'll give Mark Rogers the point out of this. They, as opposed to running at the defence and maybe raising a green flag. That's exactly what Mark is going to do right now, but great work from Diarmuid Nash at the back.
So Mark with the opportunity to open the second half account here. In it goes, it's straight over the bar, and he reduces it down to 4. 1-11 now for Clooney Quin. It's 10 points for Scariff, and we've just over 8 minutes on the clock.
It's difficult off the field as well as on it here now, Sean, with the rain coming in here, but a lot of people, but both sides doing well, and Daniel Tracy is back with Peter Duggan again down here.
Peter just kicks it and keeps it ahead of himself. Now he has it in the hand. He looks up, he's going to take on the strike off the post, and what a strike on the sideline, 30 metres out still, and I suppose an opportunity not many would take on, but it wouldn't faze Peter.
Well, Daniel Tracy, he took Peter Duggan right down to the corner. Where else would you take him if you could? But then striking a ball from practically the corner flag. What a fantastic Peter Duggan score.
Sean is making his way into the full forward line at the moment. We're waiting to see who's coming off, and it looks like it's going to be the centre forward, which is Michael Barrett. Still, it is indeed. Michael removes the helmet, and Patrick Ryan now being told to make his way out, and or actually it's not, it looks like it's Rogers. Mark is going to come out, the ball isn't getting into him yet, so they're going to try and get it around the middle to himself.
Yes, absolutely. As we said, we knew they had to make a move. Now they've made it. Let's see how it works out.
Donahue reading it there again all day, flicks it in as far as Mike McNamara was going to break as far as O'Brien. Owen O'Brien back here now towards his wing back, and they're going to recycle it even further to Shane McNamara. Shane back to Owen O'Brien. Owen gives the strike away. It's going to break here, a race for possession. Two hands go for it, but it's Ulick O'Sullivan who has it. Ulick hears the calls of Ronan O'Donnell. Ronan steadies himself, plays it in low. He was hoping that Colm Hassa would continue his run, but Colm just couldn't get there, and instead it's cut out and the ball delivered as far as Mark Mark Rogers on his own 65 gives it in, but that pass is read there by Mike McNamara. Mike now steadies himself up. He's trying to lob it, but he's only lobbing it back on top of the defence, and Diarmuid Nash recycling it back as far as Michael Scanlon. Michael has time to even drop it and collect it, steady himself and deliver a crossfield ball over here. The ball is going to break down to Rogers. Mark takes on his man, hand on the shoulder, advantage being played. The strike goes in. If it's not one inside, we're coming back, and that's exactly what happens.
Absolutely, coming back, as I said. Mark was coming right across there again. Look at what I see here, Sean. Mark Rogers has now moved out the field, and that's exactly what we expect him to do. Win the ball, drop it in. He's playing against the breeze. Patrick Crotty has to be inside at the edge of the square. Patrick Ryan, we see him earlier on in the game. He was superb. Now that combination might pull something out of the fire for Scariff.
That's it, and Mark Rogers now just getting the towel. I suppose it was a mist in the first half, but the rain has really picked up here in the second half. Conditions are difficult, and it's, even though he's been striking the ball well, it's not a gimme by any stretch.
Oh, not by any stretch of the imagination, but he has as we said earlier on, he has a fantastic style of striking the ball. This one is floating at the moment. Will he have the direction and the distance? A couple of seconds, we'll know the answer.
So we watch as Mark gets the strike in. It looks to be drifting this time. It is indeed out to the left hand side and wide, and that's going to be, I think by my count, still a 7th wide of the afternoon for Scariff.
You have to take a word on that one. That was an opportunity. They need frees, but they need nearer the goal, nearer the Clooney Quin goal.
Peter tried to get the hand to it, but it breaks as far as Owen O'Brien. Owen has the opportunity now. He was being chased by the other number 14 being Mark Rogers, but the strike goes in. It just tails to the right hand side and wide, and we're back underway straight away with Scariff. Possession now, looking for Daniel Tracy. Daniel has it on his own 65, delivers it in front of Patrick Crotty. Patrick lets it bounce, and as he does so, Conor Grogan, who's been following him around like a shadow all day still, and I suppose he must be commended for the job that he's doing there on Crotty, because he's not getting an opportunity to get any ball off.
No, the man marking now, in fairness for some of the players, some of the higher profile players, the man marking has been pretty good this afternoon from the likes of Conor. We mentioned him, we also mentioned Daniel Tracy. Both players doing very, very well, and two very good players.
And I suppose it's the versatility of as well. We've seen Patrick, he was obviously at wing forward, he was at centre forward, he gone in corner forward, he's even gone in full, but Conor has gone every one of the 5 positions so far in the back line that have needed to be picked up.
And you just mentioned all the positions that Patrick has been in. It'll just show you Mark McKenna and his management team are doing everything possible to get a player of that calibre into this game.
So that strike goes in from Mark. The radar is back on. In it goes. It's over the bar. It's another pointed free for Mark Rogers, and it reduces the gap down now to 112 for Clooney Quin. It's 11 points for Scariff, and we're back underway with Diarmuid Nash backing it down to Patrick Ryan. Patrick now short grip looking for Rogers on his own halfway line, steadies himself. It nips his county colleague, which was Ryan Taylor, but Rogers getting away from him, delivers the ball over here now as far as Thomas McNamara. Thomas inside the tackle, gives a high looping pass, but it's going to break inside. There's an opportunity here for Rogers, but the ball breaks away. The Scariff management are calling for a penalty. He's making his way in, and this is going to be an interesting call still.
It's going to be a very interesting call now. The obvious thing he has to figure out now is were the players, the likes of Mike Mack, were they going for the ball rather than the obstruction? I think Scariff, I think they'll do well to get a penalty out of this. I think they will do very well. I would give, right now before he makes the decision, I give the plaudits, yes absolutely, I give the plaudits to Mike Mack. He went back there, played for the ball, so it's going to be a puck out.
And in fairness, I suppose, to give the referee, he did take the time. He spoke with his umpires who were much closer to the action than he was, and the decision, as you said, is that the wide stands.
Look out to the far side, as they say, this guy, look at, from a neutral point of view, anybody this year, there isn't many neutrals here yet, but they would be looking for a Scariff goal. But if Clooney Quin at the next 1 or 2 scores, I think they'll be on the road here.
Now a bit of a back chat to Jim Hickey is going to make this opportunity for Peter Duggan a little bit easier, and on top of that, it looks like there's going to be a name taken there of Thomas McNamara, and Jim not happy with whatever was said outside to him, so Peter gets an easier opportunity. Out to that 5, which just keeps him at arm's length all the time still.
Peter at the moment is dead straight in front of it, but Jim Hickey from the very start, we'll wait till this one goes, we'll go straight over. Jim Hickey, in fairness to him, has laid down the marker from the very start, both to the sideline as we saw in front of us and to the players as well.
Oh, a looping pass just over Daniel Tracy's head. The ball is going to break for Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid now being tackled illegally by Ronan O'Donnell, and it's going to be a free out to Scariff, and just like he did there a couple of moments ago, a bit of back chat from Ronan, and the ball now is brought up for Mark Rogers, and he'll be standing straight in front of his goals on his own 65, and it's just that little bit easier.
It's a good job I didn't talk, because I was just going to say, if Mark Rogers taking a free from his own 65, if the ball is going to land inside, you'd be hoping Mark Rogers would be. This has changed now. He's gone from 165 to the other.
And he has time now just to settle himself, as we say. He's straight in front of the goals. He's standing directly on the 65 metre line. Here comes the strike from Mark. In it goes. It's travelling to the right hand side this time though, Sil, and it's gone out. And another opportunity just going to miss.
They're going to begging. They will need him before the end of this game, but as we said, left and right of the post for Mark Rogers.
Peter Duggan up with the hurley, breaks it down to himself, into his own paw it goes, tries to get inside. He's been chased by 4 of them Scariff players as the ball breaks down inside. It was in the hands of Thomas McNamara, but Thomas lost control of it, and it breaks out here. It's going to be the Scariff men who maintain possession. However, they're carrying it, looking here for Mark Rogers. Mark puts up the hand, but it breaks down as far as Evan Maxted. Evan, the corner back at the moment, out here at wing back, and it breaks here as far as Ulick O'Sullivan, in as far as Harrison with it, looks to get it back as far as Owen O'Brien. Owen won't get a shot. Yes, he will. He gets the shot off, but it's going to die in the wind, and William Kavanagh now has an opportunity to get us back underway. Patrick Ryan puts up the hand, but the distance, I suppose, and direction is only towards one man, and that was Ryan Taylor. Ryan has time to punish it, but it's going to drop short. In it goes again. William Kavanagh, second attempt here to deliver that ball. Here he goes. He's going long down this time. It's a race for possession. Evan Maxted is going towards it. He's helped out by his colleague, which is Donahue. Donagh carries it. He has the distance from his own 65 if the strike is good, but this one looks like it's going to just die under the post, and for the third time in a row William Kavanagh gets us back underway. But opportunities presenting themselves, and Clooney Quin might be questioning later on in the game whether there were ones that needed to be taken.
I think any management will tell you dropping a ball in top of the goalkeeper once is bad enough to 3 times in a row, but again they have the opportunity now on the far side of the field. But William Kavanagh, in fairness to him, rock solid, but Clooney Quin, as we often say, this the one thing that management get very frustrated with. Now there's an opportunity for Peter Duggan.
And when we look at that passage of play, I suppose, Sil, and it's been the way for the moment. I suppose Donahue was named at wing forward. He's been playing in a sweeper role the whole time, and I suppose he must be commended for his reading of the game, that everywhere that the ball is breaks, he's there first, he's in possession, and what he's not doing, he's not just ballooning the ball down, he's looking up, he's getting the head up, and he's delivering it from there.
Yeah, the one thing about when you decide to put in a sweeper, you're just hoping that you get the right person at the right time, and we've seen it even at inter-county level. Some players are excellent at it. Donagh has been superb, reading it like a book all day long, still continues to do that, and that's what's causing a lot of problems for Scariff, because if their half-back line hit the ball up, he's the man that's there to tidy up, have to carry the ball through and stay with Peter for a moment.
But that is going to the left hand side. It's gone wide. It's a chance missed here as Clooney Quin looking to make a change. The ball, he's going to be held up, and the change is going to be made. Dylan Cunningham, the man who's making his way in, and it looks like Ronan O'Donnell is the man who's going to make way. So it's Ronan got a point in the first half, but I suppose for the last 12 or so minutes that we have here, a bit of fresh legs in these conditions will be important.
Yes, absolutely, and Dylan has those, I can tell you, in this game. We've seen him over the coming up through the underage system as well. Lively character down here to our right hand side.
Ball breaking down here on top of Patrick Crotty, but it breaks behind. It's going to be Owen O'Brien once more. This man has been in the possession, I suppose, multiple times in the second half. Still gets it as far as his midfielder, Donagh O'Sullivan. Donagh gives the ball. He was looking for John Keneally, but the pass just didn't go to hand, but instead he nibs that man O'Brien again. It breaks as far as Peter Duggan. Peter with his lift and strike, but it's drifting right all the time, and the umpire has only one job to do, and that's to wave it wide.
Absolutely, but I have to, again give a mention to O'Brien. I think the power of him around the middle of the field at the moment, he's coming onto the ball, almost coming onto the ball at the moment, and I think he's very effective for Clooney Quin.
And there he is over that ball as we talk about him. He just couldn't get it into his hand. It breaks for Mark Rogers. Mark somehow grabs it. He's no Hurley, but fides the ball in as far as Patrick Ryan, and it's a late tackle there on Mark Rogers. There's a free in, and you'd expect that somebody will possibly be having a little chat.
Well, Jim will be having a chat with somebody, although he has the hands on the hips at the moment. He doesn't seem to be getting overexcited about it. Now he looks like a man that's going into his umpires again to see just what happened. Mark Rogers coming through there. They have won the free at the moment. Mark would be the man they're expected to stand over this one. That'll take a few moments. Tommy Corbett now giving instructions to the Clooney Quin men out on the field, the former Rogue County Championship winner. But Mark almost back on his feet, back to our left hand side, and Jim is having a word with one of the Clooney Quin men.
And it looks like it is going to be a yellow card inside. It's Dara Keogh, the man who's picking up that yellow card, and Mark Rogers will be given every opportunity, I suppose, to get back to his feet. But I suppose still we look at it, we've 9 minutes on the clock. We'll have another 3 or 4 as usual. They convert this and we're back to 113 to 12, but the way the game is going, it looks like at this time Scariff will need a goal at some stage.
And then you have to ask yourself the question, Sean, can you, one of the hopes of getting the goal, or probably, Mark Rogers has to be top of the list. Dara realised that when he was going through with the ball. He said, look, I'll take a card instead of maybe Scariff getting a goal, that all important goal they needed. But they need it, and they have 9 minutes to get the goal. I can tell you that they won't have 9 minutes, and but Clooney Quin know that as well. If they can put on 1 or 2 more, it's going to be an uphill battle all the way for Scariff. But let's see what happens with this one with Mark. He's a free now, which you would expect him to tap over the bar and bring the deficit back to 4. As I said, a puck of a ball really between them, but at the moment that puck of a ball is becoming difficult for Scariff, and it looks more likely at the other end of the field.
And straight down here in front of us here the whole time, the instruction from the Scariff bench is they're going back to the orthodox. They're going to 3 inside, and they're telling their lads to push on. So there is the feeling that they're going to need scores, and they're going to need them soon.
And they just need to move up to try to eliminate it. Mark popped up and over the bar. They need to eliminate the sweeper from here on, because they don't have any choice.
An 8th free of the day there for Mark Rogers, and it's going to be Keith Hogan with the ball in his hand. We've just over 22 and a half played. Keith settling himself. He's looking here down on Peter Duggan, as he has done for most of the second half straight away. When Peter puts up the Hurley, he breaks it as far as Ryan Taylor. Ryan just can't get the hand to it, and instead a high tackle again there by Peter on Seamus McCall, and it's going to be a free out. Seamus is standing over it, but even his own management are telling him no, leave it there, and it's going to be an opportunity for it looks like Shane Kavanagh is the man who's going to stand over it. He's looking for movement inside. Here comes the strike. It's going to be high and long down on top of Dara Keogh, but the ball is going to break. It's caught inside by the substitute Sean Minogue, but Sean can't get it away. Instead it's going to be Owen O'Brien once more for Clooney Quin over the shoulder. He's going to drop it down here on top of Ryan Taylor. Ryan puts up the Hurley, he breaks it. Colm Hassett first to react, gets the ball in, it just doesn't stick in his hand, and it's turned over here by Scariff, and they're going to come forward through Keelan Hartigan. Keelan, he was looking for his man inside, but it's going to be Donagh Sullivan. Donagh turned over as Peter Duggan tried to get it out to Dermot Nash. It goes, and it's going to be an opportunity now for the Scariff men on their own. The 65 in on top of Rogers. It breaks behind Dara Keogh once more, reading that situation, flicks it out, keeps the ball in front of him. Still in front of him is Dara. Ball back in his hand, sidesteps the man. Now he gets the hand pass away to Ulick O'Sullivan, and Ulick on his own 65, he was going to take on the men, but he just couldn't control it. But now, all of that, I don't think he purposely hand passed the ball over the defence, but as it worked out, it got him into space and got the score.
It doesn't make any difference what a score from Ulick O'Sullivan. And the one thing about Clooney, again, they have it in their heads, they can run as Scariff now, because anything other than a clear cut is going to be a free in. That's what they were working for. Ulick didn't want that, popped it over the bar, and now at the moment there is 5 between them.
See, then I suppose there's the counterbalance to what we were saying earlier. Scariff telling their men to push up, and what that meant was when the ball skirted over their defence, they didn't have the cover they had earlier, and it was an easy opportunity for Ulick then to punish.
And then looking down here, they're on the attack again.
Shane Cavanagh was coming over for it, but the ball is there. It's going to be the fullback, which is Michael Scanlon. Michael carrying the ball, tried to get the pass off. He's under pressure all the time inside there from the Clooney Quin corner forward, which is Shane Harrison. And Shane, he has done the damage on the board with 1-2, but also doing the damage there in terms of work rate.
Oh yeah, absolutely great. I mean, in fairness to him coming over there, Michael Scanlon was coming over there, holding onto the ball. It was a no-brainer. He was going to be escorted out over the line. Now this is the Peter Duggan, typical line ball for Peter Duggan. Don't rule it out, going right between the posts at the moment. It's the perfect angle for Peter. He has done it many times. Let's see what happens.
Peter arguing with the distance once more with the Scariff defence, and Jim Hickey tells him the distance is fine, get on with it. The cut goes in, it's touched inside, it's going to break. Harrison was coming towards it, so too was Dylan Cunningham, but it's going to be the Scariff defence, and their number 12, which is Shane Cavanagh, carrying it out. Shane gets it here to the middle of the field, and here goes the high lobbing ball, in it goes. It's a 2-on-1 situation as the ball breaks, and it's going to be the 2 that win it out as far as Owen O'Brien. Owen steadies himself here at wing back and delivers the ball in as far as Cunningham. The fresh legs in, ball bounces up into his hand. He takes his time, controls it, gets the strike in. That's drifting inside the post, and that's a big score there from Dylan Cunningham.
We've seen it before. We expected it when he came on. That's a superb score over his right shoulder.
Puck out, gone fast into Patrick Ryan. Patrick started so brightly, but a name we haven't mentioned in a while. He gets the strike off. It's coming across the goals. Mark Rogers is inside. So too is Keith Hogan. Keith, safe hands all the time as far as Owen O'Brien, and Owen delivers that ball down here onto his own 65. Ryan Taylor gets the flick onto it, keeps it in front of him. The ball is still in play, and in it goes. Now it travels out. It's going to be a line ball. It's going to be a line ball for Scariff. But as we look at it still, it's 115 to 12 points. It's a 6-point game, and we have just over 3 minutes of normal time left.
Yeah, as we said it from way back, that all-important goal, the format of which Scariff had was going to prove difficult for them to win the game, and now, as I said, they need something big, and they need it very, very fast.
Connor Downs is making his way onto the field. Thomas McNamara, the man who has been substituted there, as Shane Cavanagh gets this line cut and gets us back underway, looks over to the far side, finds Patrick Ryan on the bounce. Patrick, second opportunity in a row to drift that ball in, but Dara Keogh, once more, his positional sense is perfect in terms of the Clooney Quin rear guard, gets it to John Keneally out there as far as Conor Grogan, and Conor delivers it down on top of Harrison. Shane Harrison in a battle, but Seamus McCall gathers it again. He's going to give it in as far as number 24, which is just guy Mick Duffy. Mick getting the ball up, it goes as far as Patrick Ryan. We said we hadn't mentioned him in a while. We've just mentioned him 3 times as it dies into the hands there of Keith Hogan. Back as far as Donagh Sullivan. Donagh now plays the ball down here in front of Cunningham. He got a score with his last touch. What'll he do with this one? Keeps the ball in play. Colin Hassett is coming charging just to keep it in. He's on his own 65. Looks up. Owen O'Brien gives the call. The flick is just in front of Owen, and Diarmuid Nash nips in to get a flick on the ball. Out it goes. It's over as far as Daffy again. Daffy now delivers it in low in front of Ryan again. 4 in a row. Out to that ball is Patrick Ryan. Tries to get the strike off. He does this time, but once more he's going to give the ball back into the hands of Keith Hogan.
As we mentioned earlier, as we said, back into the goalkeeper. It's like an 80-metre clearance way down the field, and that's the worst about it, getting a ball just dropping in. Good handwork by By Diarmaid Dash out there, but let's see what happens with the Scariff attack. They need a big green flag.
They do. Seamus McCall dropped it in. Here's the shot. In it goes. Keith Hogan gets his hurley to it. It was Keelan Hartigan, the man who had the shot on his own 21. And Keith Hogan, equal to that opportunity, gets it out for a 65. And I think, was it 4 minutes?
Time right down here under, so let's see what's going to happen with that. But as I said, they're very important. They'd want to be completely dominated by Scariff at this particular stage.
So it's going to be, I suppose, an opportunity for it, and you would expect with 29.5 minutes on the clock, this ball is only going one place, and that is to be dropped into the full forward line. And as plenty of bodies get in around it, and sometimes still, we saw it, I suppose, in the minor final earlier on this year, that you could be better off to keep it open and follow the ball in. Scariff are using the other approach, but that has allowed Clooney, I suppose, just to fill any gaps when this ball comes in.
That's what happens. Just looking across 5 minutes, I think there's 5 minutes to think of additional time. So very shortly we're into that, topping that up straight over the bar. So,
Shane Kavanagh, the man who took the strike, he's put it in and over the bar. 1:15 now for Clooney Quin. It's 13 for Scariff. We've just gone over the 30 minutes as we head into the 5 minutes of extra time. Keith Hogan is in no hurry whatsoever as he delivers a long clearance all the way down on top of his full forward line. Out coming for it was Shane Harrison, but the ball gets it back inside. Michael Scanlon gets the touch on it, works it over as far as Padraig Brodie. Padraig is dispossessed there, and it's going to come as far as Cunningham. Out it goes as far as Colm Hassett. Colm Hassett gets the strike. In it goes. It's a third of the day for Colm Hassett, and Clooney are back out to 6.
And all they have to do, Sean, is manage the game. I mean, they will manage it from here, no doubt about it, but a well-worked performance by Clooney Quin.
The ball breaks again here. It goes for doubt as far as Patrick Ryan, but Clooney Quin get numbers around the ball once more. The ball is stuck here inside in the middle of a ruck. It's going to waste out another couple of seconds for Clooney as it's going to be Patrick Crotty with possession. Now he's on his own 65, gets the strike in, looking for Rogers inside. He gets there first, falls over his own man. He's going to be pulled down inside by a combination of both Shane McNamara and Ryan Taylor. A bit of pushing and shoving that follows as well, but it's going to be a free in at the end of this. But from a Clooney point of view, it's just going to keep the clock ticking.
It is going to keep the clock ticking, and we know what's going to happen. Matt Rogers is going to stand over this one. Keith Hogan is going to face up to him down at the other end. There'll be other players inside the goals, but Scariff have absolutely no choice on this occasion. Jim will break this up. He's going to have a word with one or two of the players back there, and I think
Shane McNamara is the man that's going.
And Matt Rogers will try and blaze this one in, and as we said, Keith Hogan will be the nearest man, along with players of his left and right inside the goal, and very little choice and no big brainwave to know what's going to happen here. It's going to be Matt Rogers versus Keith Hogan and a band of warriors left and right of him.
No, and I suppose we go back to big moments in the game, and I suppose that penalty opportunity early in the first half, which Mark had saved on him by Keith, as it turns out, a vital score possibly at that time, which could have shifted the balance.
You look at the pattern of the game coming into the second half. There was 3 points, 4 points, 5 between them. How important will that goal have been at that particular stage? And right now, as I said, I think there was 6 between them. Let's see what happens with this one.
It's low, it's in, it's saved inside on the goal line. The congratulations are going to Keith Hogan again. I'm not sure that it get beyond them and one of the other boys stop it, but it's out it goes. We've 32.5 minutes now gone. It's going to be a 65, which Shane Kavanagh is going to take again. But as we say, still 116 to 13, and a substitution. Owen Guilfoyle looks like he's getting ready to enter the fray for Clooney Quin for the last few minutes. And just looking at Clooney, I suppose, and the year that they had last year and the battles in the relegation, and this is a big start to the year for them.
Oh, they'll be absolutely thrilled with this. There's no question about that. Let's see.
Another 65.
They'll be absolutely thrilled with this. It was a very, very well managed performance, both on and off the field, I thought, by Clooney Quin. They got the tactics absolutely spot on. They had a very difficult first half. Again, the strong breeze. That breeze is nearly taking a break by now, but they played very well against that, and they carried the ball to the Scariff players. It deprived Scariff of giving them the ball to launch it. So it's a good performance by Clooney Quin.
In goes that lobbing ball, dropping inside in the 13. Peter Duggan is the man who rises highest. Out it goes as far as Patrick Ryan. Patrick as far as Crotty. Patrick Crotty back to Patrick Ryan. Here comes the shot from Patrick Ryan. It's high over the bar. No, it looks like it took a touch again and it's gone out, and we're going to have another 65. But all of this, as we say, just ticking the clock down into what will be, I suppose, the conclusion for Clooney Quin, and 2 points on the board.
As we said, we always talk about it, it's the group of 4 or 5, that first victory takes a bit of pressure off, and it also gives you an opportunity to get into the pattern of things as well, Sean.
Mark Rogers gathered the ball inside, but he was swarmed, tried to kick it. Instead, Shane McNamara picked it up, gives it out as far as Conor Grogan. Conor couldn't get it, so Mike McNamara comes and helps. Mike gets it back out as far as Conor. Here they are in possession, they're carrying it all the time, looking to get it to Colm Hassett. Colm just delivers it long. We've a one-on-one at this side of the field at the moment. It's Michael Scanlon against Shane Harrison. It's Scanlon who wins the ball. He delivers it here now as front of Owen O'Grady. Owen on his own 65. He's tackled by Ryan Taylor. Ball is transferred over as far as Keelan Hartigan. Keelan lobbing that ball in again on top of the 21. It breaks inside. They're trying to get the ball into the hand, but Dara Keogh, as he has done all day, and I suppose fittingly as the man who has occupied that position all day, it is Dara Keogh who takes possession still, and with that Jim Hickey blows the final whistle to secure the 2 points for Clooney.
Oh yeah, I think Clooney will be thrilled, absolutely thrilled. I thought it was a very solid performance right throughout the field. I thought they got the tactics right as well, and I just think that maybe Scariff will look back in that opening half and just wonder maybe if there wasn't a little bit more firepower up front, right, maybe around the 13 metre line. They had the players for that, but you have to give credit to Clooney Quin for that. I thought their second half performance was very good. Their first half performance for Clooney Quin was absolutely brilliant. Again, that strong breeze, as we said, that's not there now because of the rain, but I think that was just fantastic the way they managed that game, and tidy side, absolutely.
So, and I suppose from Clooney's point of view, you look at the conditions they were playing in. As you said, they were against the breeze when it was there, but like for the whole of the second half we've had this heavy rain, and their ball control and I suppose their patience and picking the right men and travelling at the right time, passing the ball, like for a young side, an inexperienced side in a lot of positions, they really stood up in difficult conditions.
And you know, Sean, a very simple thing happened in the last part of that game. Shane Kavanagh stayed, there was 27 players inside the 65 at the roadside. There was 3 at the back. 9 times out of 10 there would be 3 Scariff players on this occasion, but Shane Kavanagh was one of those players. Just held it there. Now there was 2-on-1 situation, but he put Michael Scanlon thinking. He had something to do, and I thought a simple thing like that, like keeping a player up front while there was 27 players at the other end of the field, and they were the little things that worked out all day for Clooney Quin, and that was one of the many things that caught the eye.
And I suppose we just thank you for the moment. Still, I think you're back on air again later on this evening in the park, so any of our viewers who have the weekend pass can tune in and have the joys of I think it's the second game that you're on for later, isn't it?
And looking forward to Arrow and Kilmaley, but many other games throughout the county as well.
No, that's it, and I suppose live here on Clare GATV, 7 games over the weekend. This is the first of them. We have 6 more throughout today and tomorrow, and in partnership with Clare FM, 3 of those we'll have live for you throughout the weekend. So from here in O'Garney Park, it's our congratulations to Clooney. They get their championship year up and running with 2 points on the board. For Scariff, a little bit of soul searching, and it's time to get ready for round 2.